For those of you who don't know, MrBeast is the biggest YouTuber on the planet. He's got close to the entire population of the United States subscribed to his channel. And he inked a deal with Amazon to produce basically a game show called Beast Games. It's kind of like a longer version of his YouTube channel stuff. But when they were filming, apparently there was all types of shenanigans going on set. And a lot of the people who were contestants in this game feel like they were mistreated. And so now they are doing a class action lawsuit. And they're encouraging other of the 2,000 people who auditioned for the Beast Games to come out and join this lawsuit. And there's all types of like weird stuff going on here. So like they're saying that particularly women were targeted for sexual harassment, and they were withheld certain hygiene products and stuff like that. People weren't given proper nutrition or meal breaks or anything. And basically they're going after MrBeast for a lot of money. MrBeast is, of course, 26 years old. He's primarily a content creator, so he has a lot of people around him who's supposed to be taking care of this stuff. They don't seem to be doing their jobs. But there's a lot of vitriol being aimed at MrBeast right now. A lot of people are trying to cancel him, trying to knock him off the top of the mountain. But it does sound like there was like some shenanigans going on here. Mr. Fist, would you like to chime in on your thoughts on the MrBeast Games lawsuit?
It does seem like this is kind of the latest in a long string of attempts to get rid of the guy. Look, you have this with online. If you've been on YouTube long enough, and I've been on a long time. I started in 2009, right? And you see this over and over and over again with people who get to the top of the mountain. It happened with PewDiePie. It happens with every big channel on YouTube. They want to build you up, and then eventually they get to what they call a dethroning moment, where they decide, oh, okay, this is the moment where we now can kind of feast on his corpse. And I think this is it, honestly. I don't like MrBeast or his big phony smile, or the fact that he'll basically take money to put his name on absolutely. He's a complete amoral whore, and that is obvious, which is true of most of the top channels on YouTube. So, it's no skin off mine ads, but I don't know. It kind of sounds contrived. If I had to guess, I would say it's a reality competition show. People are butt mad that they lost. And because there's chum in the water and everybody wants to cancel MrBeast, I'm going to go after him and maybe get paid at the same time. Because if you're agreeing to be on a MrBeast reality show, you're a bigger whore than he is.
Mr. Butters, part of this was shot in Las Vegas, which is where we're based out of. It was shot at the Allegiant Stadium. And one of the charges against MrBeast, I should say, all the charges here are that he failed to pay minimum wages and overtime, failed to prevent sexual harassment, created conditions that subjected contestants to infliction of emotional distress, did not provide participants uninterrupted meal breaks or rest breaks, and exposed contestants to dangerous circumstances and conditions as a condition of their employment. And it should be noted that
basically every American job.
Well, it should be noted that while they were out here filming, we were going through here in Las Vegas a very intense heat wave where we were hitting.
Oh, is that when they were doing that?
Yeah, 110 degrees like every day out in the bright sun. And the Allegiant Stadium, like, it is air conditioned, like they can close the top and like keep it cool in there. But I think that they were doing stuff out in the bright sunlight in different places around town and things of that nature. But as somebody who works on the Strip and has like some knowledge about like, how things operate down there, what do you think about these allegations?
Well, in my professional opinion, as a person who works on the Strip,
I thought you were going to say person of color for a second there.
Yeah, no. As a fat, old, bearded white guy, I don't. This none of this surprises me, to be perfectly honest with you. I just got these pictures in my head of all these people over in Allegiant Stadium with the gates open, because the backside of the stadium opens and closes, so you can get air going in and out of there. Of these, what's that Japanese game show where they climb up the mountain and they throw rocks and boulders down on people and people trying to climb up the oil
Lord of the
blind.
Flies.
I don't know, but it's crazy. I got these images in my head of just these people running around everywhere doing all these crazy, stupid things. And, then they get hurt probably, and then they get mad. It's like, well, man, I came here to have fun, but I broke my arm, so I'm going to sue MrBeast. Okay, maybe that's the case. I don't know, but, I don't know. It just seems very strange that these people were all there and got to do this thing, and then they probably lost, like you guys said, and didn't have that great of a time because it was 120 degrees outside, and they went and lawyered up, I guess, which kind of sucks. But I'm sure they all had to fill out 47 pages of agreements before they did all this stuff, right? So I don't know how much of a case they're going to have, but I guess we're going to find out.
Well, culture, one of the biggest complaints are coming from the female contestants, who basically said that they were not informed that all of the challenges were going to be physically based, and they were competing against men. Go figure. Where basically the men were able to dominate in the physical challenges.
What do you think this is? The Olympics? Damn.
Yeah, the WNBA or something. I don't know.
So I mean, they weren't making them like stick their hands in cages full of scorpions and drinking a bunch of like donkey cum or something, right? After if they failed the
that's what strikes me most about this is like, dude, do you remember what reality shows used to be? Like freaking Fear Factor,
right? Exactly.
Hey, go ahead and stick your hand into an electric generator while covered in water. Like this is Fear Factor.
Well, let's introduce the idea that there's 43 seasons of Survivor, and that's not exactly a walk in the park.
Right. Still going.
It is still going, but culture. So basically, these women are claiming that they were participating in an unfair contest, and also there are major accusations of sexual harassment, where basically the attorneys that are filing this suit are pointing to a internal document at MrBeast production company called "How to Succeed in MrBeast Production," which is an employee handbook, where it specifically states if talent wants to draw a dick on the whiteboard in a video or do something stupid, let them. Really do everything you can to empower the boys when filming and help them make content, help them be idiots. And so basically, these women are claiming that there is a culture of misogyny amongst MrBeast Productions, and they felt unsafe and unfairly targeted. What's your take on this?
Well, first of all, I think it was mostly a male crew that he had, if not an entirely male crew, until recently when somebody decided to opt out of that. So they were all boys. So reasonable, conversational usage of the word boys, as far as that document goes. But regardless, when in
unless they're on Discord, and then
sure. Yeah. Vocal AIs, Tom uses them all the time. Yeah. But first and foremost, what is a woman? See, we have a problem here. We decided to rearrange a bunch of words and change their definitions. And I think they are going to have a hard time with that. Not to mention the fact that everybody is subjected to the same challenges. So how could that be sexist? You're not being treated specially. You're being treated the thing everybody's expected to do. There's no difference between men and women. Don't pretend that you even know what a woman is. So
if he wanted a challenge that was impossible for women, he just asked them to take responsibility, I think.
Well, I think that would be great. That would, first of all,
some women can beat a dude in a boxing match. You ask a woman to take responsibility. Forget about it.
I'm telling you. I got one of the good ones. But regardless, I feel like that's something you gotta actually be able to prove. You can't just throw this out there like any of these other charges they're talking about. Because I'm like going, you joined a reality show. It's not comfort. There's not puppies and kittens licking your face. That's not a challenge you're going to have on a reality show like this. So I'm sorry, you get what you get. I don't know about the sexism or any of that. Didn't witness it. Hopefully they have got some proof. That document's flimsy at best.
Hopefully they have video footage that I can play on a loop over and over and over.
I mean, again. Look, I mean, even you even had to have some, some secretly snuck out, P. Diddy footage in order for anybody to believe, any of that.
Honestly, culture, MrBeast doesn't exactly exude manliness and testosterone. No. The dude's pretty feminine, man. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, the new fellow that just took the internet by storm, the scholar fella that got fired because he had opinions. He was a teacher, Anyway, he did a great video about MrBeast, kind of exposing just the kind of culture and the kind of group that he hangs out with because he's familiar with them. So he did a really interesting video on that.
Is YouTube just where like failed high school teachers like congregate now? Is that the thing now?
In no way. He was actually pushed off the platform because he went viral. I think he's been on a few people's channels, including Midnight's Edge.
I think Razor's talking about OnlyFans.
No.
No, those are different teachers.
No, he's highly intellectual and incredibly based. Tom, don't do that. Please. You are not at a Charlie Kirk event. You cannot whip your boob out. You cannot do that.
Don't tell Tom what to do, Culture.
Okay. All right. I'm just saying. So anyway, I in no way did I answer the question, but that's not unlike any other time I'm on the show. So
yeah. Well, I just thought Razorfist's comment, it reminded me of that Jack Nicholson movie where he's a writer and one of his fans asked him, how do you write women so well? And he says, I think I'm a man and I take away reason and accountability.
That's one of the greatest lines ever.
It really sticks with you. But I want to throw this to Tom Connors. So, Mr. Connors, this is basically, I think that there's something to be said about the fact that Amazon is bankrolling this endeavor to the tune of $100 million. And people are looking to basically get a cut of that sweet Amazon money. How do you think the people over at Amazon are looking at all these lawsuits? Because MrBeast, I think smartly has been, very quiet about this stuff. He's just not acknowledging it. He's just kind of like moving on and staying focused. But it's got to be making some people at Amazon worried, don't you think?
What's a MrBeast?
Right.
No, I mean,
you'll know it's hitting him in his pocketbook if he actually does weigh in on it, right?
Well, also, MrBeast is famously he doesn't care about money because he just reinvests everything. But
I mean, eventually, I'm sure they'll have to turn off the faucet. I mean, honestly, is it any worse than the money they sink into Rings of Power?
Considerably,
it's a lot less.
About 1/10, yeah.
So there you go. See, so this isn't even a scab.
Well, to add to that, I mean, a lawsuit directed at all parties is normal. You go after all pockets, and hopefully you get the deepest ones.
Well, the most interesting aspect of this, though, is that they're trying to turn it into a class action, where basically they're like, if you were a contestant on this show, no matter what papers you sign, join with us, and we'll get you way more money. Yeah. That seems to be the strategy here. But Mr. Fist, I wanted to throw this to you one more time because, MrBeast, he's 26 years old. And when I was going to film school, like I was in my 20s, I moved out to Hollywood, I think when I was like 23 or 24 or something like that. And to run a organization as big as he's running and to do productions as big as he's doing that young, he really has to rely on other people to kind of handle the logistics for him. It sounds like the people who are running these things for him are the ones that fault more so than him. What's your take on that? Do you think he's just young and inexperienced?
Maybe. I think if he's at fault for anything, it's what I alluded to earlier, because Amazon approaches him with a show. He's like, geez, I put my name on crappy burgers and Lunchables. Yeah. Well, Jesus, where do I sign up? And he just trusts that everyone knows what they're doing. Right. This is the cost of being a whore, is you wind up having to delegate a bunch of stuff to other people because there's no quality control on account of you don't have a soul. So you didn't generate this idea yourself. This isn't something you felt you woke up one day and you were inspired to do this. No, somebody approached you with it because you have brand recognition, which brings us back to the not having a soul being a whore part. Have I emphasized enough that he's a whore?
I think you're going a little soft on him personally.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what do you think? So what's the difference between someone like MrBeast and someone like PewDiePie? Right.
PewDiePie marginally came to his senses and watched too much anime and went and moved out to Japan. That's the difference, I guess.
Well, I think it's important to note that PewDiePie never kind of expanded out past he tried doing that YouTube TV show type thing, Scare PewDiePie, but beyond that, he just kind of stayed in his lane.
Yeah, I exactly. And I think also he kind of knew what he was good at. And Also, I know people who were in his orbit who like were part of the regular streaming crew that worked with him and whatnot, and he was pretty much exactly the same after he had a gajillion subs as he was before. He was just enjoying playing the games and entertaining his audience and whatever. And when you're wired that way and it's more about entertaining people and then the success comes with it, I think you're more grounded. Some of those people deal with success worse, but I don't think PewDiePie really did. And which is probably why he kind of is having his sort of zen dad in flip-flops sitting on the edge of the pier, peering out into the lake kind of moment with his wife and kid right now. That's kind of where he's at.
Yeah, he got married to a beautiful girl, moved to a different country, and semi-retired from YouTube. He just kind of like does things occasionally now when he feels like it.
Exactly. It's only when he's entertained by it personally, which is the way to do it.
Yep.